and letting God write our story. Hebrews 12 says, "Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart."
You may be seated.
Things aren't exactly what I thought they would be. I won't pretend disappointment's never free. The sky's on fire. Feels like the sky's on fire. I may be young, but I'm feeling old, like somebody borrowed years, and I found out they got sold. But I still love you, although my sky's on fire. And to the author of life, be the author of my life. To the author, do you hear me sing? Hear me sing. Hear me sing. Swallow my pride, let go inside. Show me your ways, refine me, and I'll still love you, although my sky's on fire. And to the author of life, be the author of my life. To the author, do you hear me sing? I see you hanging in there, looking back. I've been running everywhere. I've done it my way for far too long, like I promised 2 years before. All I have is yours. All I have is yours. And to the author of life, be the author of my life. To the author, do you hear me sing? And to the author of life, be the author of my life. To the author, do you hear me sing? Hear me sing. Hear me sing.
At camp, I accepted Jesus as my Savior, and He spoke to me and showed me that I don't have to be afraid anymore, and that He will write my story for me.
What I bring back from camp this year is I was always taught growing up that we would wait for our reward in heaven, and what I know now is that our reward is now serving Christ and following Him and letting Him write our story.
If God's going to write the story to my life, I'm going to need to forgive some people, and I'm going to need to get past these things that I'm angry about. And my goal for this upcoming school year, and the thing that I ask you to pray for me, is that I can be a minister in the high schools no matter how much people mock me or how much I get made fun of.
And I went to camp and I realized that God is my #1 priority instead of sports. And so now I just need to make God my focus and not sports.
This year, this camp just really reminded me that I'm free of that guilt, and it really took the burden away from all that guilt. And I think now that this guilt is gone, that God has finally called me into youth ministries or being a missionary.
Aaron talked a lot about like, if you died tonight, what would you do, and like what kind of impact would you have made and stuff like that. And that really just kind of hit home with me. Like, I have people all the way around me, and how important it is to tell them about how much I love them and like share Christ's love with them. That we have to stay unified as a youth group, or else our faith is just going to like pummel into the ground because we can't do it alone.
And I believe for the first time, the students of our youth group started to understand what it means to be part of the community of Christ.
I accepted Christ when I was younger, but as I grew older, I did choose to do things my own way. But what I did learn at camp is that I need to hand over the pen, and that is what I did. So now he is writing my life story.
So I think what God spoke to me about at camp is that ministry isn't something that happens after high school and after college and when you're an adult. What God spoke to me is that ministry happens now.
So this year we took 38 high school students and 24 junior high students up to McCall. And to say incredible is not a description of what those 2 weeks were. Besides waking up to the beauty of what McCall is in the mountains right there by the lake, just to know that the divine presence of God was with us that week, it was an absolutely moving and incredible time. To be flat honest, I was going into camp a little bit burnt out and spiritually dry. Coming home, I'm rejuvenated and excited to take on the world. And I know that many of our teenagers feel that way. In those 2 weeks, we saw 4 young people accept Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior and embark on a journey to deepen that relationship with Him. That was Melissa Jazenboski, DeAndre Jones, Brady Hoff, and Austin Alvord. Between those 2 weeks, the overarching theme that spanned both junior high and senior high was giving God the unhindered right to write our life story, as you've already heard some of them say. It's an idea that brings our life in line with the story that began long ago, before we even existed. Our goal this morning is to do something a little bit different than what we've done in the past years. We've shown you videos of the fun stuff we've done, jet skis and boating and rafting and paintball and ropes course, volleyball, basketball, and the list can go on and on and on. But I want to give you a 5-minute glimpse into what camp was really like. The real reason why people sacrifice vacation to spend a week with teenagers that they love and adore. The real reason why strangers gave upwards of $250 to see somebody they've never even met attend the most significant week of their year. The reason why so many people put so many hours in behind the scenes to make sure that this camp could go off without a hitch. This video will show you what that real reason is.
I'm going to continue to ask the same question every single night and every single morning that I'm going to ask you right now. So who is writing your life story? Because we don't have the benefit that God does of seeing how things are going to play out and how things are going to work out. We are writing with limited perspective in view, and all we can think of is what we want and how we want it, so we are willing to write our story any way possible to get what we want. And that's why you wake up later down the road and look back at your life and think, how did I get so far away from God?